What's good, everyone? Welcome to Table Talks, episode 2, featuring our boy, Residing. We're the Tastebreakers. I'm Wasil. This is Kato. This is Tay. Table Talks is a dinner that we do monthly. Bring over a friend that we really appreciate and inspires us. We just talk about life, real shit, have great food. And we're about to eat right now. Made some tacos.
Kato's already eating.
Taco Wednesday.
You didn't even wait for us to cheers.
Yeah, he was just ready. He was hungry, man. I'm hungry
Cheers,
too.
y'all.
I can't blame him. Cheers, y'all. Dig in. Hope you guys enjoy.
What'd you make for us today?
Well, like I just said, I made some tacos.
Okay, well, why don't you go into depth about everything you made, Wasil?
Yeah, so we got actually a pretty big spread here. I was thinking about making a pasta, but I made a pasta last episode. So I was like, yo, I'll make some tacos, but then I brought 3 different meats, and then we have all these different sides. Next thing you know, an hour later, we got some chicken, some carne asada, some al pastor. Tay held it down, the rice right over there. Made some elote, that was my first time doing that. And I got this little like zucchini medley with some garlic for Tay, because she's a vegetarian, as you guys know. I'm gonna let you know every episode. The beans, the cilantro, the onions, so we're really out here just trying to do it. I'm about to take a bite. Fresh, why don't you tell the people at home who don't know who you are, tell them about yourself, what you do, what you're all about.
Finish my food.
Yeah.
I'm Fresh Redding, dancer, choreographer, entrepreneur, to sum it all up into one.
He's giving you the most humble answer ever. I'm just sitting here like really annoyed, I'm not gonna lie. This guy is entrepreneur, dancer, choreographer, founder, has his own TV show that's coming out soon. For literally a year, I worked really hard to try to get on Ocean's 11. I set up meetings with him and everything, and I was like, how do I get on Ocean's 11? Because it's you can't audition for it. You literally have to be inducted into it. So
For somebody like myself and Kato, what is Ocean's 11?
So it's a collective of dancers and choreographers striving to be the best that they want to be. I originally started it based off of how the audition process works, with us not having that many friends, or me not having that many friends just moving out here, but still wanting to be able to live life and work and also grow with the right people. I wanted to prove that we could build our own platform to really get into the industry and to hit it head on first. It's hard to really kind of cut through a lot of people's friends, I guess, so to speak, because everybody hires their friends. But now knowing, I feel like that's a negative outlook on it. They hire people that they know that can deliver their style or whatever they're asking for. So with me not understanding that before, I just felt, I was like, hey, I have so many talented friends, and I feel like we can build our own platform so we could be able to work. And this has been so long now we've been doing it, and just continue to do it. So now I have Ocean's 11, which is all guys, Ocean's 12, which is all girls, and Ocean's 13, which is kids.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. I'm developed. Now, is it essentially a collective of dancers? So people come to you if they're looking for, a lot of dancers, and you are able to, you have this whole roster essentially?
Yeah, that's just basically how I've envisioned it, and that's how it's always been. So now that I'm okay, I'm with an agency, and with Block, they're easier for, say for instance, Kendrick Lamar is looking for dancers. Yo, I need 10 dancers that know how to do this specific style. You know what I'm saying? And I know that they're trained in my style, so it's okay, it's easy to just reach out to my collective and just hire everybody through Block like that. So that's pretty much essentially how it works.
That's dope, man.
So yeah,
that's really dope. It's dope that you're giving back. You're helping up and coming artists, giving them opportunities that, like you said, it's really scary for people to move out to LA and not have a community, right? And everyone out here is trying to do some sort of creative thing. Somebody's trying to make a name out here. So it's really awesome for you to set something up like that. And also have it for all people, Start off with men's, and then now you have a women's, and then now you're doing it for kids too. Yeah. Which is super dope, bro.
Oh, thanks, man.
Super
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah, I love helping out and building people, really being able to deliver deserving opportunities.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of people that's just handed out jobs, and they didn't work hard for it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that my people, they worked hard to be there, and they deserve the opportunities that's coming their way. Awesome, future, past, and present. So
that's awesome.
It feels good for me that I'm yo, I bust my ass so my people could eat as well.
And that's how you really put yourself in a position where, for lack of better terms, that's how you make boss moves, honestly, because you're the type of dude looking out for other people. You're the type of dude who's bringing up everyone else around him. And that's so rare in a city, in a town, in an industry where it's so selfish.
Right.
Is I gotta eat. And people don't realize it. People always want to be a boss, but boss is the person who eats last.
Mm-hmm.
That's the person who puts everyone in front of himself first, and then he eats.
Right.
And that's the person that people look up to. That's the person that people are like, this is the guy that I want to work with. And which is evidence. I mean, you do great work. You mentioned Kendrick earlier. Yeah. We can brag a little bit. I know you've danced for Kendrick before.
Yeah. A few times. I love working. I love working with him. I love working with creative people, creative minds.
And he's super creative for sure.
And I love being a part of performances that mean something, or being a part of artists' movements. Instead of just like, oh, I'm just throwing this together. Yeah. Just so I can make a few dollars, It means something more than that. So that's why I love being a part of that. I love being part of that team.
You're going to do anything, we were talking about it earlier. Kendrick obviously produced the entire soundtrack for Black Panther.
Oh my gosh.
We're super stoked on that. Movie's got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes with all the critic reviews. Like over 70 reviews too. Is pretty wild at the time of this recording. Is there gonna be anything maybe in the works? I don't know if you can let split, but maybe you might get hit up, do some dope shit for a release.
So. Yeah, I hope so. That would be so tight. Yeah. I actually got a sneak peek of the development of the car that they actually made for the Black Panther.
Oh, wow.
And at West Coast Customs, I had did a little project for them. And I love cars, so it was it was really good to be in that environment. They had a dope Black Panther Lexus or whatever, and I seen it from the ground up. To find a product for its release party and everything, it's gonna be so sick.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
It's about time Black Panther got a movie.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, Black Panther, one of my favorite superheroes growing up. Super slept on. The richest dude in any comic book universe. Dude runs his own country that's cloaked from the rest of the world. And it took till 2018 to give the man his own movie.
That's crazy.
But I also think that it's a reflection of where we're headed as society right now. I know that there's a lot of bad stuff going on, but I think I actually might have been from that Quincy Jones article that came out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He said, God is shoving the ugly in our face so the good can come out. I read that and I was like,
That's
wow,
great.
that gave me a second, and I was just like, you're right, because I felt like we've been putting a Band-Aid on shit for such a long time, bro.
Well, he even had said he thinks it's worse now than it was. In the article, they said, do you think it's better or it's worse? And he said, I think it's way worse now. The only difference is now we have God shoving everything in our face where we kind of have to do something about it. Yeah. So I can't even imagine having all of that history and all of that knowledge and being like, oh no, it's still bad. It's worse now.
They always say that about God putting things in your place to help you for a better future.
Right.
So we won't know how good it's gonna be unless we don't experience the worst.
We gotta fight for it, man. Anything worth having in life, you gotta fight for it. Every era has something that I had to fight for. And I think it has been a while, at least for me growing up, I didn't really feel like we had anything crazy to fight for. When I was younger, we had some turbulent times, obviously the stock market crash and everything, but it wasn't social issues, right?
Right.
And then Obama came about, things were pretty good.
Right.
That's where the Band-Aid thing kicks in, right? Because it's we have a black president. And he was, in my opinion, an amazing president. Yeah. And then we get Homeboy now.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and we were just talking about how our parents are kind of that weird gap in between our generation and the older generation. And even down, we were just talking about them watching so much TV. Everything that is said goes with them. Because I do have a lot of uncomfortable political views with my family that we don't agree on the same things, but I do feel like it's that really big gap between the people who are actively pursuing the things that need to change compared to people who are just okay, well, it was already this way before, so we might as well not change anything and just let it go. So
what's awesome about our generation, I feel like, is that we're willing to have the dialogue. The reason why we're doing this show is that we're having dialogues and we're talking about real life stuff. That's how you progress and that's how you move forward, by talking about stuff that makes you uncomfortable. And I feel like for a long time we're just sweeping stuff under the rug.
Totally.
Not talking. That's why we do this. That's why we do a lot of what we do. Love what you do, talk about what you don't love, and understand different perspectives.
Right.
That's what it's all about. So who inspires you to be the kind of person who pulls people up, brings everyone together? What inspires you, or who?
Well, definitely 3 individuals. Diddy, Jay-Z, and a guy named Ty Lopez. Each of them just used one vehicle to branch out into other different talents and gifts that they wanted to kind of indulge into to help others. Just like how Diddy started at the ground zero and just built up until he became a boss and was able to make decisions in the music industry and became an A&R and really put Biggie on and Mary J. Blige, you know, like his career was started in helping people and helping the music industry and, you know, building everyone up. So I really saw how he did it like on himself. Like he actually went to Howard University for like a year, and then dance brought him to like music and things like that. And I just felt I did the same thing. We got like the same pathway. Dance brought me out of the hood. I was the first out of my family, the first out of my projects to grow up and go to school and graduate. And
That's so crazy.
it brought me to here to LA. You know, to really do more.
Where'd you go?
Hampton University in Virginia.
Dope.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Hartford, Connecticut.
Long way from home.
Long way from home.
Yeah. When did you move out here?
2009.
It's been a minute.
Wow.
It's been close
Almost
on a
10
decade,
years.
bro.
Almost, right? Oh,
That's
no.
crazy.
Yeah.
Super crazy, man. That makes my 2 years look like chump change.
Yeah.
You know? For real. How old were you when you moved out here?
I was 22.
Wow.
Wow, man. So what's on the horizon next for you? What projects you got coming up next?
Man, a lot actually. I'm still doing event planning for party promotions and coordinating. I love doing events and things like that. I did it in college for so many years. So continue that on. It's called Code Red Entertainment. And I wanted to get into developing TV shows. You know, I feel like dance isn't really represented very, very well on TV. It's either scripted reality or dancers are exploited to bring everybody else money. You know, I just think this is so unfair. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to have to do the same thing I did in the beginning. They won't give us the opportunities. Let's create another one. So I wanted to create a TV show to where dancers could get jobs that's more lucrative. Dancers that know how to act as well. You know, in a lot of dance movies and TV shows, the acting perspective is sacrificed.
It's corny as hell.
It's
super
so
corny.
bad.
Corny,
It's so
bro.
bad.
Yeah.
So you know, you have these projects. It's like, oh, they're great dancers but terrible actors, or they're terrible actors with great dancing. So,
Right.
you know, I just wanted to be able to have both, like, you know, great dancing with great acting or whatever, and not the corny woo-ha, like, you know, this is my party, you're not invited, let's dance, like
Break it out right here.
yeah, like, no, it's not
Take it to
how
the
it
streets.
works. You know, I wanted to bring more the authenticity of dance to TV and bring it with drama, and, you know, and I think that's like a match made in heaven.
So it's the TV show that you're working on.
Yeah,
What's the name of it?
the spring.
The Spring. Work in progress?
Work in progress.
Work in
Work in progress.
Cool.
Yes. Still working on my clothing line. It's called TFK.
Dope.
I developed it like as soon as I actually moved out here, because I love to draw. I love art and things like that. So I would draw on hats, and I used to always wear my hat flipped up. So I used to draw on bottoms of hats or whatever to build a brand, not just for myself, but also to provide scholarships for African Americans that want to go to school out of state. When I was trying to go to school, it was like unreal on how expensive it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't have no money for this.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to find scholarships. I remember going through a book of scholarships. It was one scholarship I saw. It was like, you can get a scholarship if you're taller than 6'3" or shorter than 4'5". I'm like, I'm in between. Where am I supposed to get a scholarship? Like, so I seen how ridiculous these scholarships were. I was like, yo, man, I need to be able to provide some type of lucrative business that would be able to provide scholarships. And I felt that going out of state really helped me develop as a man as well. So I was like, okay, let me provide something that somebody that wants to like not just stay home, want to be able to just branch out and really grow. So that's why I developed TFK as well.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see everything that you're doing to give back. It's actually something that I aspire to do myself. So it's very inspirational, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank
See,
you,
like, you came out here doing something you love, and like you said, it has grown and taken you into other avenues that you also love and enjoy. And now you're using that opportunity to give back to people who need it. You know?
Exactly.
I definitely feel that on the education tip. It's not as easily accessible, and I think that the way that our education system is set up right now is to keep certain people in a certain class, whether it's upper class, middle class, lower class. You know, like even if you do go to college, bro, it's like, okay, but then what college do you go to?
Right.
Now everyone can afford to pay $65,000 a semester to go to these crazy prestigious colleges, you know. And if you go to like a state college or like ourselves or whatever, it's like, look down, oh, you went to a state college. It's like, well, I went to college though. Like, I got educated.
The thing, and that's why my third person that inspires me, Ty Lopez, what he explained was, even with college, you spend so much money on college, and that knowledge that you learn, you already learning it within 5 years, and you have literally, it's an expiration date on that knowledge you learn.
Yeah.
You know, so literally the 5 years that you're trying to get a job or develop whatever things that you're trying to do, that's the small gap that you have to use that knowledge knowledge that you already learned. If you don't, it's over. Like, whatever you learned is out the window. Because at the end of the day, I remember a lot of stuff that I can apply, but that was before the social media era.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten no knowledge. It's like a whole new vibe, a whole new way of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about just coming up with a new product and putting it out. And great marketing, great signs, boom.
Billboard ads,
you know, like
paper ads,
magazine
radio.
in the back of the yellow pages.
Yeah.
What I did keep was the grind of it, and to really know that entrepreneurship is not easy. And it's crazy that even overseas, like people get paid to go to school. Like
like
it's
wild.
can you imagine? Like, you know how many people go to school? Like if you was like, well, I get paid to go to school.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, to kind of wrap up the dinner party here, what are you most excited for moving forward? It could be anything. This could be, like maybe you got something that's coming out that you're super excited for. It could be a plug of yours, whatever. It could be projects. It could be a movie. It could be a soundtrack. It could be whatever you want. Just something that you're like, dude, I'm super stoked for this.
I'm blown away, and like I finally got a team now. Having a team is so important.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so important, and
Most important.
which is really hard for me because it's so hard for me to rely.
When you're an entrepreneur,
people.
man, it's very difficult.
It's so hard to find someone. I'm like, yeah, but you're not gonna work as hard as me.
As you, yeah.
You know, like I need you. Yeah, so it's hard, but it's really good, and I'm really excited that I have a team of hustlers gonna help me with the TV show. And like, they're really grinding and really like getting the connections, getting the right people involved, and I can't wait for this to hit the fan. It is going to blow everything out the water. It's unreal. It's so unreal. I
saw some rehearsals, so I can also say I very much believe in
can't
it.
wait for it to happen, and only to really bring like some healing to people that have struggled before, and be able to really like, yo, I'm a living testimony. Like it can happen for anybody, and just keep following your dreams, keep fighting.
That's awesome.
You know, really keep fighting.
Keep following your dreams and keep fighting.
That's it. Without struggle, there is no progress.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Fresh, my man. Thank you.
Dude,
Fresh Redding, the man, myth, the legend.
What's up?
Thank you for having me.
Table Talks, episode 2. That's a wrap.